And
If you could give a little summary of that.
sure. Wow. Okay. So it's about 16 years, right? Since this has been created. So literally, that's the reason why we actually created PNI, right? I think there was just FASA, NW FASA, and the collective of all the Asian Pacific Islander subgroups that was out of the East. You don't call it the ECC anymore. What do you guys call it?
Oh, no, they still
Oh,
call
it's called the ECC? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Love FASA. Let me just put that out there. Love FASA. FASA got me back to my roots. I mean, I went to high school in the richest white little city that my mom could find, you know what I mean? So FASA got me back to my roots. I love it. But PNI was personal. It was just a little bit more personal. It was female. It was, sisters. And I mean, because we were founding mothers, I think that tells you right there that like we were like go-getters, you know what I mean? Like we weren't scared to put ourselves out there. But one of the biggest collabs that we did in the first 2 years was joining Gabriella with a production that they put on called Veil. I don't even know if they still have the video of that, but if you get in touch with your Gabriella peoples, ask them about a 2000, and when did I graduate? Oh my gosh, you're gonna think I'm so old. It was either 2005 or 2006 production called Veil, Veil. And I can't even remember what the mission was for that production, but it showed a lot of parts of it was a very artistic production about stereotypes and different things that we struggled with as Filipinas.
Mhm.
And PNI, we helped put the production on. If I find a copy of that production, I'm going to send it to
Yeah.
you.
Let me just
So
make
yeah, so we were collabing with Gabriella even back then.
We all agreed coming in that we were going to do our best to create the best of what we can make of it. And that meant, fortifying pillars that are sustainable and that can can last the test of time. But also create activities that are going to be the basis. So we really tied ourselves to strong organizations that were existing at the time. So, we really looked up to a lot of the FASA alumni that were really doing strong work in the communities at that time too. And we used our relationships with them to really strengthen and valid and to create our organization as more valid in the community.
So I'm thinking of community organizations, and I would say FASA because I was FASA's academic chair my sophomore year and their president my senior year. So being president of both the Sister de Pi Yota and FASA CU Dub, I did a lot of cross collaboration between the two groups and leverage each org's strength to support each other and our greater Filipino community of the Pacific Northwest. He and I also collaborate a lot with elementary schools in South Seattle and the Filipino Community Center.
Really just making sure we were kind of upholding all of those pillars, right? So keeping each other accountable, making sure that we felt like we were having an impact on the community and that we were taking care of each other as well. So yeah, I would say really just like thinking about out those 4 pillars, you know, academic awareness, academic excellence, cultural awareness, female empowerment. I think it was female empowerment at the time. And I think you guys, maybe it's like women empowerment now, and community service, and specifically children's literacy. It sounds like you guys are still kind of upholding some of those. It sounds like, and it's great to hear that literacy jamboree is still happening from what you said, LJ. Because I think we were, if I'm remembering correctly, I think we were the first annual literacy jamboree. I think before it had been more like a walkathon, where we were like doing a fundraiser, kind of like around at the park somewhere, and then we kind of just pivoted and then decided to make it, turn it into something different, a little bit different, into literacy jamboree. So it's great to hear that that's still happening.
Do you have any like favorite memories from your career in PNI?
I mean, there was one night, I remember we were passing out flyers, because that was one of the ways that we raised money, was that we worked with this club promoter in Seattle named Ting, and he would pay us. I don't even remember what the calculation was of what he paid, but it had something to do with like how many people showed up at a club or something like that. And I think we were passing out flyers, and we were in a van. And I think Mel and I were in the back. I think I was with Ate Rowan driving, and it was just one of those really silly nights. And it was like, there was a lot of Halloween parties happening, in the sororities. Yeah, like in the you know, where all the sororities were across the street from UW. And I remember we were just, it was really late at night, and we were just passing out flyers, and it was just one of those silly nights, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't think we were buckled up in the back, so we were like rolling around in the back of the van. I mean, I love the nights where, for the same thing that we were doing, fundraising, is that, you know, our job was to go to the club at 1:30 in the morning and be ready for when the lights came on, and passing out like flyers and things like that. So we would literally study all night, and I live in Linwood at this time. So it's not like I was in Seattle and ready to go, but like, you know, we would study so hard. And then it's like 1 o'clock, and then we have to speed down, you know, I-5 and get to the clubs, and then just do that. And then we'll go to Chinatown and eat, and then go home afterwards. And that was like a day. And then we had to be up for 8 o'clock class the next morning.
Oh my gosh.
That we had to do that, just planning, you know what I mean? Just planning and doing the work, the late nights, the meetings that we had, because we were never too serious. We always found a way to just make things fun.
And we found out there was like a street fair on UW, like on the Ave. So we decided to go like all together, and it was the first like real time, like the Kappas, like after they crossed over, really could hang out with the Ates with their guard down, because we were fully integrated into the sisterhood. And I just remember like vibing with people and just like trying new foods. And it was really sunny out. We were all dressed in cute outfits, and we were all matching. And I think that was the moment that I was like, this is like definitely, like, this is an organization I'm gonna like see to the end. Because it's more like, we are business oriented, and we have all these missions, but that just strengthens our bond to be able to kind of be like silly with each other and kind of do stuff, like just be young people in their 20s. And that sense of respect you get from seeing somebody do the work in the community just makes you respect them as an individual even more.
Like, how did P&I contribute to your personal growth?
Oh, wow. Let me think here. Lots of things. Definitely the strong bond of sisterhood has contributed with my growth. Like, for example, like, you know, there's Ate Malaya and Ate Daidi and Ate Jackie, and, you know, I still confide in them. And, you know, also, you know, just, you know, sharing, you know, experiences or, you know, moments with them. which which is, great, to have, someone older than you to be able to kind of like, share things with.
And it's exciting to be celebrating these like life milestones with people in college that are your sisters, right? I don't really talk to too many people from college, only like a select few, but most of them are like my sisters from PNI, our sisters. So like all the relationships that we have are still relevant today. Like I still have dinner dates with those that, pre-COVID, we still had dinner dates and stuff for those who are still in Seattle. And we always just kind of find time to like get together, even if it's just like holidays or all that stuff. I think a lot of times too, especially with what happened with the Black Lives Matter movement recently last year, we all kind of just were feeling some type of way, especially as like Filipino women, and we all just hopped on a Zoom call just to like talk, right? And those kind of friendships you really cherish, because it's not every day that like some of your friends are like, oh, let's hop on a Zoom call and talk about like, grown stuff. It's like we're literally sisters that have fun, attend each other's weddings, but we also talk about like social issues together. And I think those kind of things within our bond really are like truly like lifelong friend type stuff. So
I'll say right now, actually.
Okay.
Let's think more modern.
Don't be afraid to change your environment and to do something uncomfortable. I found that a lot of folks, well, that graduated in my same class, or maybe the class above me or class below me, just kind of went back to what was comfortable. I think getting out of your comfort zone is such a great life lesson. I think that if you're afforded an opportunity that is something you've never done before, just go do it.
And know that it is really true. Whatever you set your mind to, whatever it is you want in this life, you can achieve it. And just know that. Like, know that if things are not going well, there's always a solution. And know that if you have a goal that's not working out, try again. Keep trying and keep trying. Do not give up.
To remember that, your journey is never linear. When you go into college, you have this expectation that, okay, well, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get my degrees, and then I'm going to have this happen, and then this happen. That's usually not the case at all. And, I think it's important to remember to always, enjoy the journey, and not get so caught up on always hitting milestones. And that it's okay, if you don't feel like you're not at a specific point in your life, because you know what, that is your journey. You don't need to hit any, benchmarks at all.
And what would you hope for in the future of PNI?
Yeah, I think really it's just, it'd be amazing. I mean, it sounds like you all have done some amazing things and kind of had continued that legacy. And so I would say just for you to continue doing what you truly believe in and continue to kind of live out the pillars of PNI, I would say. And then of course, just live out your best truth. I mean, that sounds so, I guess cheesy, but yeah, I mean, I think I would say I just hope that legacy continues and I
pass down. And I think as my hope as an alumni and all my sisters too, we always just hope that the integrity is passed down, right? Like, even though like we're expanding, we just hope that the true heart and the true meaning of PNI is being passed down, right? And that's the whole thing about integrity, is like we have a lot of stuff that we have to uphold. And we're kind of being vulnerable, right? When we're like passing on the stick. So it's like, yes, it's great that
all these people are a part of it, and we just hope that we trust and hope that the integrity and everything that holds P&I together is being passed on to. So that's truly what it is, right? Like, if you have the heart of that one ate to hold it together, like that truly is what it is.
I hope P&I continues to grow. This interview got me looking at the current website and seeing the new faces that I don't recognize that form this sisterhood almost had me in tears. I want P&I to grow into change agents and activists. There's so many opportunities now to think outside of the box. Our communities of color need representation, need education, need support, and need love. Our AAPI communities and Asian girls need a voice. And I believe P&I has the ability to provide all of that and more in groundbreaking ways.
Trying to just be more a part of the community and show ourselves as an important part and an integral part to it. And I think hopefully we'll grow and hopefully integrate into more campuses and maybe have new chapters. I know that's always something like we've talked about. And I just want it to continue to be a space for people. I think our events and our everything else that we do is great and it's important, but the most important thing to me is that we continue to provide a space for people who identify as women and who are interested in developing like their Filipino-ness, or just like their that part of them that they might not have noticed. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. They might not have like noticed that they can strengthen, or how important it is to them as an individual, as a whole.
And so, to know that P&I is really still up and running and doing a lot of that passion work that really drove us together, it's just such a great feeling, knowing that it's gone beyond us, it's evolved, and you guys have taken such strong ownership for it that you've really brought it into this generation. And so, like any organization, like any group, you want to see that evolution. You want to see it evolve. You don't want it to stay stagnant.
Right.
And so I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm proud of for where P&I is now. And I hope that, in another 5 to 10 years, they also are going to bring it into a new light where all the actives now can look back and say, they're doing a great job, or, there are certain things that I want to give back to because of, what it's given to me.